I'm Percy Dovetonsils. On this date, in 1588, the British destroyed the last of the Spanish Armada. Commander Leuchelips had been in charge of the British fleet, and his victory inspired the famous phrase, "Leuchelips sinks ships." On this date in 1609, Galileo demonstrated his telescope for the first time. After checking out the neighbor, he aimed it toward the stars. It was then decided they should do this at night. In 1709, the first known ascent in a hot air balloon was made by Father Bartolomeu de Gusmão of Portugal. And he did it indoors. So, not overly brave. Things were going great until he bumped into that sharp lighting fixture. On this date in 1829, a locomotive was operated in the Western Hemisphere for the first time. It only went 2 feet and would have gone much farther if there had been railroad tracks. In 1876, Thomas Edison received a patent for his mimeograph, a method of preparing autographic stencils for printing. You'd always remember that smell if you went to school in the 1960s. Our boss loves the company mimeograph machine but is considering getting a copy machine. Within 5 years. Yes, before copying, before Xeroxing, there was a mimeograph. Copy that. If you're old enough to remember what a mimeograph was, you might remember when it came out. On this date, in 1888, the revolving door was patented. Only then was it much easier for employees to come and go? And if they did, they had nothing to compare it to. Until then, people could not describe a company with high employee turnover. It was invented by a guy who worked at a place with a high turnover. Until then, companies that hired and fired people regularly had to use regular doors. In 1929, the Graf Zeppelin flew around the world in 21 days. The only ones unhappy about it were those living below them during restroom stops. On this date in 1963, the song Louis was released by the King's Men, who, as you know, went on to fight crime in the UK, too. In 1963 that Britain's Great Train Robbery took place, as thieves ambushed a mail train and made off with £2.6 million in banknotes. That was much more than thieves stole a few years earlier during the famous Good, but not Great Train Robbery. On this date in 1973, Vice President Spiro T. Agnew said those reports he had taken kickbacks from government contracts in Maryland were damned lies, and he vowed not to resign. It turns out they weren't, and he did. In 1974, Richard Nixon resigned himself that he was going to leave. It was a black day for blue suits. Today is National Mochi Day, National Whataburger Day, International Infinity Day, International Cat Day, National CBD Day, National Dollar Day, National Frozen Custard Day, National Happiness Happens Day, and Sneak Some Zucchini Into Your Neighbor's Porch Day. The life of the party, Shawn Mendes, turns 25 today. He's been around a lot longer. Baseball's Anthony Rizzo turns 34 today. He was with the Yankees, the Cubs, and I believe he also had a brief stint on the Muppets. Britain's Princess Beatrice Elizabeth Mary celebrates 35 today. If you're getting her a gift, please consider some fashion sense, or a better-looking hat. Tennis player Roger Federer turns 42 today. He has 20 Grand Slams, and he never even played baseball. Garfield's sidekick, Odie, turns 45 today. He plans to be drawn, enjoying a quiet evening at home. Someone get him a cartoon bone. That's 308 in comic dog years. 98 Degrees singer, Drew Lachey, turns 47 today. Lachey, by the way, is Spanish for the Shay. Deborah Norville of Inside Edition is 65 today. The untold, shocking story. And she'll be celebrating. On the following Inside Edition. From the Happy Days gang, Donnie Most, aka Ralph Malph, turns 70 today. Yeah, he was Ralph, but he acted a little potsy at times. He plans to just hang out at home, waiting for the next reunion phone call. He plans to spend a quiet evening celebrating at Arnold's. Howard Stern's sidekick, Robin Quivers, turns 71 today. I probably should have included Long Suffering in there somewhere. Dustin Hoffman turns 86 today. I need to watch Tootsie again. And finally, if you're an average person, you have 9 keys on your keychain. And 3 of them could be more helpful. Wow, I'm above average on so many levels. With exciting facts to clutter your mind, I'm Percy Dovetonsils, for KDAZ, Digital Broadcasting. And thanks for listening.